Hey, I'm back, and I just wanted to stop to record this because Father's Day is coming up. It's this coming weekend, and I noticed that I'm getting people asking, or not asking, but saying, like, related to things with narcissists and toxic people. If that's all you've known your whole life because your parents were like that, your family dynamic was like that, you're not going to know anything else. Of course, you're going to choose relationships where the way you grew up and were loved, or treated is going to feel comfortable to you. So I wanted to do an episode about healthy relationships. And I've been fortunate, as much as I've talked to other people who are, have been in toxic or narcissistic relationships, high control relationships, that kind of thing. Many of them have never ever experienced the opposite of that, which is a healthy relationship. So they actually don't know what it looks like, what it feels like. We hear about red flags, but we're not really told, well, what's a green flag, right? Except for that guy who's on TikTok, and the big flag waving guy, he will sometimes do green flags, which is really great. But I think we need more guidelines for what does a healthy relationship feel like. So that's what this episode is about. And I'm going to be reading some of it. So if you're watching this and my eyes look funny, it is because I'm reading, because I didn't want to miss any of these. So I have about 7 main areas with a little bit of like yeah, like bullets. Anyway, so the first on we'll call this my checklist of healthy relationship markers. First one is calm and steady energy. So if you're with somebody who just is able to kind of remain who they are and stay calm, they're not love bombing you and doing anything super dramatic. They're not creating chaos out of some little simple thing that's just a regular blip of everyday life. There's no whiplash in these relationships. They're very steady, and it's very easy to be around them. Their energy feels safe, steady, even, and just stable. Like you're not like freaking out like, oh, what's going to happen next? You just know you're cool. It's easy breezy. You're not chasing a high. You feel very, very grounded with them. You don't need that because it's just nice to have peace. These are people, this is the second one, they absolutely respect your boundaries. So, and without punishment. So when you say, I don't like it when XYZ happens, or I'd prefer if you only call me between this hour and that hour, and you set some guidelines for your life, boundaries. They respect it and they do not sulk. They don't withdraw or retaliate, and it comes back to bite you, the next day, the next week, the next month, or a silent treatment, something like that. They just honor your need for space. They're like, yeah, okay, no problem. And they give you your space. That's it. They know that you need some time, maybe some autonomy, and they don't feel the need to give you a guilt trip. It's just like, okay, thank you for acting like an adult, telling me what you need. They actually like that you've told them what you need. Third one is they are very consistent over time. So their words match over months, over not just days. So they'll say something and they don't flip flop and change it around and say, oh, I never said that. They're just consistent. It's like, that what you see is what you get. They have said the same thing from the first day you met them to, the third month, the third year. Maybe they're going to evolve and grow over time with some political beliefs or something bigger, but in general, you kind of know who they are and what they stand for. So there's no big swings in their attachment or detachment, their affection. They're not really using it as a tool to kind of destabilize you. It's very, very consistent. So you don't have like one hot week and then another one that's really, really cold or withdrawn. It's pretty steady. And it feels real. It feels authentic. It feels safe. And it feels like, yeah, what you see is what you get. There's not like this, oh, what's going to come next? You don't have to brace and question. Fourth one is emotional availability. So this is when you're in some kind of conflict, they're able to talk, they're able to be present, they're able to maybe even be silent and listen, right? So they're not just comforting you, they're really trying to hear you and understand, so they can say how something makes them feel, like, oh, I didn't understand that, or that made me feel upset because this, or I was hurt when you made this decision. And they can own it, they can take accountability for hearing you say the same thing, even if it makes them uncomfortable, that they did something that made you feel confused, upset, hurt, disregarded or something, or disrespected. They'll listen, they'll try to understand, and they know how to take accountability and kind of repair the situation versus letting it spin out or making it all about ego and that kind of thing. They know that when you're talking, your goal is to make things better. You're not trying to shame them, guilt them. You're trying to express how you feel. And when they express to you, they're doing it from a more grounded, stable place of ownership. Like, I own my own feelings, right? And trying to get to an adult agreement on things. And you just feel seen, you feel heard, you feel validated, instead of managed or dismissed or gaslit or shamed, guilted, all those things. Fifth one is shared power, not control. This is big. This is when you're able to make decisions together. It's collaborative. You do not feel like you're being dragged along with their life plan, their daily plan, their weekend plan. They're actually asking you, like, what do you want to do? What do you think about this? I have an idea. Or what are your ideas? And they listen. And even if it's something that's outside of what the norm is, what they would normally do, they're still open to it because they love you, they care about you, they want to share a life with you, so they want to do some things that maybe aren't the most comfortable for them, but are something they know you enjoy, whether it's going through a flower field, or you're going to a boat show for them, or, a sporting game, they're going to a concert that you like, that kind of thing. Doesn't always have to happen, but you should be able to at least talk about it, right? Because you're in this thing together. So if you can do it collaboratively, instead of always feeling like one person's controlling where you go to dinner, the movie that you see, where you go on vacation, or which friends you see, like, that is not cool. And then you also just feel like you're not less than. You feel like you're on an equal playing field with them, and that you're a sovereign person. You have agency. It's respected. You're mutually working towards something together, and you're not squashed. You're not put down or made to feel less in any way. So that's the shared power piece. The sixth one is they have a genuine interest in your life and your growth. They want to support you. So they ask you about your dreams. They ask you if you're healing about something that's bothered you from your life, maybe from your childhood, from your work, from whatever. And they're listening, and they care about your growth, your healing, your soul, who you are, like, underneath it all, and that you're doing okay. And they cheer you on when there's something you're excited about. They cheer you on. They don't negate an accomplishment or something you feel excited about, even if it's not something that's of interest to them. Maybe you just learned how to, I don't know, knit or salsa dance or something that they're not really into, and you're excited. They can be excited for you and with you. And they don't want to minimize it or compete with it. Like, oh, that's dumb. I'm going to do whatever because this is better. This is meaningful. They just accept it's part of who you are, and great, you're happy. They want you to be happy. When you're happy, you're going to be a better partner, and they know that. Um, and they're also curious. They're not controlling. So they ask you about you, things that make you tick, things that maybe you're thinking about, maybe your dreams, just small things even. They're curious about you, wanting to get to know you, and that that is a truly shared life experience where you're both growing together. And again, I'm saying this about them, but I mean, hopefully you're giving that back too. That's the healthy part. So whatever I'm saying about the other person, hopefully you're giving that back to them. And then there's just this comfort in the quiet. You can just be. You don't have to entertain, perform. You can be in silence and feel just safe and rest and just exist, just be. And it's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be in. And thankfully, I can say I have experienced this before. And I think that's why I knew I was in something that was so not okay, is because I had multiple relationships where it was more like what I just described. They weren't all perfect or anything like that, but I at least had those glimpses. And unless you've had some healthy relationships, and this goes for friendships too, like a lot of what I'm saying here, I think overlaps into friendships and family relationships, that kind of thing. But when it's a one-way street, or they're shaming you, blaming you, knocking you down, that kind of thing, or ignoring boundaries, it's just not healthy. It's not the green flag. It's just, we all have to deal with some of that in our lives, but when you're looking for healthy people to surround yourself with, this is the kind of stuff that they're talking about. This is the healthy, like, these are the hallmarks of the healthy relationship. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I'm mentioning this around Father's Day because I know there are plenty of people watching this who want to have a partner, want to have children, and raise their children. It'll be a lot easier when you're with somebody who is like this and is collaborating with you. Or you already have children, maybe you're a single parent, and you're looking for a partner to become a part of your life and live out your life with you and potentially raise little humans, right? So you want to be able to have these tough discussions about your life vision, your beliefs, your, like, where's your integrity in things, like where do you stick a stake in the ground with certain things that you believe in. And so that's why I felt like this would be good timing for this. It's for any day, actually, but of course I think it's really helpful as we think about parenting, fatherhood, partnerships, all of the above. So yeah, I hope that was helpful to you. I would love to know. All right, I hope you guys have a good one. See you in the comments.